Y'all, Cardi shows up to court looking absolutely stunning as always, but then these photos start circulating and suddenly everyone is playing detective, zooming in on her midsection like they're working for the FBI. And the pregnancy rumors are flying faster than you can say occur. Before we dive into this tea, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to break down all the drama. And trust me, you don't want to miss a single detail of this story. Okay, so let's back up and give you the full context, because this situation is wild from start to finish. Cardi B had a court appearance recently, and yes, we'll get into what that was about in a second, but the real drama started when paparazzi photos from outside the courthouse started making their rounds on social media. And y'all know how the internet is. They see one photo and suddenly everyone becomes a pregnancy expert. The photos show Cardi in this gorgeous fitted outfit, looking absolutely phenomenal as she always does. But here's where it gets interesting. Some angles of these photos had people doing double takes. And when I say people were analyzing these images like they were studying for their finals, I am not exaggerating. Within hours, and I mean hours, social media was flooded with side-by-side comparisons, people drawing circles around her stomach area, and comment threads that went on for days. It was like watching CSI, Celebrity Edition, in real time. But here's the thing that really gets me. Why are we so obsessed with speculating about women's bodies? Like, can't a girl just exist without everyone trying to figure out if she's carrying a baby? But I digress. Let's get into what actually happened. Now, before we dive deeper into the pregnancy speculation, let's talk about why Cardi was at court in the first place, because that adds another layer to this whole situation. This wasn't just some random court appearance. Cardi was there for some legal matters that have been ongoing, and you know she always shows up looking like the queen she is, regardless of the circumstances. The woman could be going to pick up groceries and would still serve looks that would make red carpet events jealous. But here's where it gets really interesting from a timing perspective. The internet started focusing more on her appearance than the actual legal proceedings. Like, we had legitimate news happening, but everyone was too busy playing is she or isn't she to pay attention to the actual story. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how Cardi handled herself? Walking into that courthouse with her head held high, looking absolutely stunning, completely unbothered by all the cameras and speculation. That's the kind of confidence we all need in our lives. The outfit choice was everything too. She knew she was going to be photographed, she knew people would be watching, and she said, you know what? I'm going to look absolutely incredible no matter what y'all are talking about. Okay, this is where things get really wild, and honestly, it's both fascinating and concerning how quickly this escalated. So these courthouse photos start circulating, right? And at first, it's just normal celebrity paparazzi stuff. But then, and I kid you not, people started treating these images like they were solving a mystery. The comment sections became absolute chaos. You had people saying things like, look at this angle, and compare this to photos from last month. And honestly, some of these internet detectives were putting in more effort than actual investigative journalists. What really got me was how convinced some people were. Like, they weren't even saying maybe or possibly, they were stating it as fact, based on a few photos taken from specific angles. And you know how photos can be deceiving, right? Lighting, angles, the way fabric falls, there are so many factors that can make things look different than they actually are. But the internet doesn't care about logic when there's potential drama to discuss. Within 24 hours, fan accounts were posting proof, gossip blogs were picking up the story, and suddenly the speculation was being treated like confirmed news. The really wild part? Some people were even trying to do math to figure out potential timelines, looking at her recent appearances, analyzing her social media posts. Like, y'all turned into whole private investigators over some courthouse photos. And then came the social media storm. And honey, when I tell you, it was intense. Twitter was absolutely on fire, and not in the good way. You had camps forming. Team, she's definitely pregnant, versus team, y'all are reading too much into this. And it was getting heated in these comment threads. Instagram was even worse, because people were reposting the photos with their own analysis, drawing literal circles and arrows like they were giving a presentation. Some of these posts had thousands of comments, with people debating every single detail. But here's what really bothered me about this whole social media frenzy. the complete lack of respect for Cardi's privacy and bodily autonomy. Like, imagine going about your business, handling important legal matters, and suddenly the entire internet is dissecting your body and making assumptions about your personal life. TikTok was probably the most creative with it though. People were making whole conspiracy theory videos, doing evidence compilations, and creating content that was getting millions of views. The algorithm was eating it up because nothing drives engagement like celebrity pregnancy speculation. And don't even get me started on the comment sections of these TikToks. It was like a war zone of opinions, with people getting genuinely angry at each other over whether or not a celebrity they've never met might be expecting a baby. This is where things got really interesting from a fan perspective, because Cardi's fan base actually split on this one. You had the fans who were excited about the possibility, posting congratulations, talking about how happy they'd be for her, making posts about how cute her kids are and how another baby would be amazing. These fans were genuinely coming from a place of love and excitement. But then you had another group of fans who were like, can we please let this woman live? Stop speculating about her body. And honestly, I was here for that energy. These fans were calling out the invasiveness of the whole situation and defending Cardi's right to privacy. The divide was fascinating to watch because both sides genuinely cared about Cardi, but they had completely different approaches to showing that support. Some thought celebrating a potential pregnancy was supportive, while others thought respecting her privacy was more important. And then, of course, you had the fans who were just tired of the whole conversation and wanted to focus on her music and career achievements instead. They were out there posting about her recent projects, like, can we talk about her actual accomplishments instead of her stomach? The really beautiful thing, though, was seeing how many fans ultimately came together to defend her against some of the more nasty comments from non-fans who were just there to stir up drama. Now let's talk about how the media handled this situation, because wow, there were some choices made. Some outlets were actually pretty responsible. They reported on the speculation without stating anything as fact, and some even included commentary about the problematic nature of pregnancy speculation. Props to them for actually thinking before publishing. But then you had other outlets that were running headlines like they had confirmed information when they absolutely did not. And that's how misinformation spreads, y'all. Someone sees a headline, doesn't read the actual article, and suddenly they're telling their friends that Cardi announced a pregnancy when she absolutely did not. The gossip blogs were probably the worst offenders. Some of them were running multiple articles a day about this story, analyzing every single photo from multiple angles, bringing in body language experts, and just generally doing the absolute most over some courthouse photos. And can we talk about how this affects Cardi as a person? Like, imagine trying to handle serious legal matters while the entire internet is making assumptions about your personal life and body. The stress of that alone would be overwhelming. Okay, let's zoom out for a second because this situation really highlights some bigger issues we need to talk about. First off, the obsession with female celebrities' bodies and reproductive choices is wild. Like, why are we so invested in whether or not someone we don't personally know is having a baby? And why do we feel entitled to analyze their bodies and make assumptions? This happens to so many female celebrities, and it's honestly exhausting to watch. Every time a woman gains weight, wears a loose-fitting outfit, or just exists with a normal human body, people start the pregnancy speculation. And it's not just invasive, it's also really harmful. Think about it. What if someone is struggling with fertility issues? What if they've had a miscarriage? What if they're dealing with health issues that affect their body? All of this public speculation can be incredibly painful for people going through these private struggles. And let's be real, even if someone is pregnant, they have every right to announce it on their own terms, in their own time, in their own way. Taking that choice away from someone by speculating publicly is just not okay. The internet's detective work might seem harmless and fun, but it can have real consequences for real people. Celebrities are human beings with feelings, and they deserve the same respect and privacy that we'd want for ourselves. So, where does all this leave us? Well, as of right now, Cardi hasn't confirmed or denied anything. And honestly, good for her. She doesn't owe us any explanations about her body or her personal life. The whole situation really got me thinking about how we engage with celebrity culture and social media. Like, we can enjoy following our favorite celebrities and being excited about their lives without crossing lines into invasiveness and disrespect. And here's my hot take. Maybe we should channel all that detective energy into something more productive. Like, if you're going to analyze photos for hours, maybe analyze them for fashion inspiration instead of pregnancy speculation. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think pregnancy speculation has gone too far in celebrity culture, or do you think it's just harmless fun? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and please keep it respectful because we're all just trying to have a good conversation here. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more celebrity tea and commentary, and ring that notification bell so you never miss when we're spilling the latest drama. And remember, celebrities are people too, so let's try to treat them with the same kindness and respect we'd want for ourselves. Until next time!